Selected is a question that lingers in the recesses of your soul. Do you believe that, by means of faith and spiritual energy depletion, something unseen exists? There is spiritual conflict. At this turning point in your path, it is essential to discover if your protection is always under challenge. It is an enormous honor to have you here on the channel, The Awakening of the Chosen. This area, set exclusively for those called, is a haven of great insights and spiritual development. My name is Gabriel. Your soul directed you to this essential message for your spiritual development and security. There is no chance on your arriving here. I am not sharing today a message for anybody. It is meant for those who heard the faint call of the cosmos, resonating in their hearts and brains, and starting the quest for their actual nature and purpose. This insight reveals the secret to its instantaneous enhancement of spiritual protection. Ignoring this moment might mean losing a heavenly chance, a mistake that will reverberate on your own road of spiritual development. I ask you to delve deeply into this discovery if you have felt the need for the truth, that drive to untangle what lurks behind the apparent veil. Should this spiritual unrest already affect you, let your heart speak in the comments. When you like this film, realize it did not get here by accident, but rather for a directed and enlightened goal. Prepare your soul, as in the next instant, we will open doors for realities that cannot be disregarded, which will equip you with the required instruments so that even in the darkness, your light shines unrelenting and strong. Let us gather to travel this road together. Selected, the moment has come to expose a spiritual truth gently hidden from the view of most people. Although few have the awareness to see their complicated and deep functioning, spiritual conflict is a phenomena directly affecting their energies and everyday lives. You were selected to have this insight, as it is time for your soul to completely awaken to the real fight it is currently engaged in. She is tangible and felt in her everyday existence, in the unseen forces striving to veer her heavenly course. This fact is not an abstract fantasy or notion. Imagine days when hopelessness without obvious cause permeates your life, or on the evenings when unpleasant dreams intrude. These encounters are not random. Rather, they clearly show that their spiritual protection is under threat. See your spirituality as a great beacon of light, brilliant and pure, surrounding you a shroud of darkness striving to drown out its brightness. Negative spiritual forces seep into their vulnerabilities, investigating any openings in their defense, just as the tide gently seeks to bury a stone in the ocean. You could have had repeated cycles of spiritual and emotional struggles throughout your life. Ask yourself, how often have insecure and doubtful emotions surfaced for no obvious cause? How many relationships and events have become turbulent out of nowhere, as if unseen powers were surfing your life's waves? These are the times when this spiritual conflict cries out for recognition. Spiritual development of this phenomena depends on an awareness of it. Those who reject this truth are caught in never-ending cycles of misery, oblivious to the unseen dance of the energies all around them. However, you are here, and this is your heavenly chance to disrupt these currents. The moment has arrived to open your spiritual eyes, let you see the adversary where he really is, and be ready to guard everything holy in his path. The first step toward unwavering and triumphant is knowing this struggle exists. Ready to keep on this road, we will delve more into the spiritual approach meant to fortify you against any unseen obstacle. The following phase is packed with revelations that will permanently alter your perspective on your spiritual guard. Her light cannot be shut off. So united, we shall ensure she shines more brilliantly than ever. We come to see by considering the depth of spiritual combat that the intricacy of these unseen conflicts calls for an awareness beyond our own. The way this truth shows itself in your life is as subtle as it is strong. It molds your responses, guides your choices, and influences the energy you emit to the world. Imagine a time when, as you start your spiritual path with fresh enthusiasm, others around you start to behave as iron tests of invisible resistance before sympathetic and understanding takes hold. Conversations start from nowhere and cause storms in once calm oceans. Just when you are about to make a significant spiritual leap, have you ever found yourself wondering why this happens? Few people see this battleground, yet everyone must negotiate. Let me ask you, have you ever had a goal or endeavor meant for success, only to experience an unexplained setback? How many times while one is?
Have you ever stopped to wonder why, despite all your achievements, it feels like something essential is still missing? My name is Gabriel, and I've helped countless people like you discover the true spiritual power that resides within them. And today, I want to help you. If you feel like life is passing by while something important remains out of place, maybe it's time for an awakening. My audiobook, The Path of the Chosen, was created precisely for those who have reached this point. In this audiobook, I guide you to feel that enthusiasm for living in alignment with what truly matters, knowing that every step has meaning. Together, we'll transform your fears, traumas, and frustrations into powerful strengths that propel you to a new level of growth. Leave behind the feeling of spiritual isolation and find the peace of a true, constant connection with a greater energy that has always been by your side. Instead of fighting against what you feel, you'll learn to find purpose, serenity, and self-discovery to fill your inner world. This could be the beginning of a fuller, more meaningful life. I've seen it happen for so many others, and now it's your turn. Don't let this opportunity slip by. Click on the link pinned in the first comment and begin this journey with The Path of the Chosen. This is your chance to fill what's missing and finally live the life you deserve. I'll be waiting for you there.
Advancing spiritually, did forces try to deflect their confidence and attention? Such events are obvious indicators of the forces testing their will and faith, not the outcome of chance. See your path as the change of a magnificent butterfly. The caterpillar has to brave the darkness and loneliness of the cocoon before flinging its vivid wings. This time of solitude might be seen as a kind of spiritual memory in which its inner roots strengthen before radiating their actual glory. You have to fortify your roots so that your spiritual ascent is unquestionable, much as the scriptures tell us of the wise man who built his home atop the rock. Ignoring this fact would be like living in an unseen jail, punished to follow painful and unpredictable cycles. Destroying to confront this fact blocks the divine potential meant to blossom and hinders its progress. Accepting it, on the other hand, offers an enlightened road wherein spiritual purpose shows itself, altering your experiences and imbuing your life with calm and clarity never felt. As we delve into this information, we inevitably find ourselves wondering, what actually characterizes the opposition we encounter? Are they just outside challenges or continuous reminders of a road towards personal development and self-awareness? The response you selected is right at your core. As we enter the following phases, we will disentangle the systems that will enable it to meet and overcome every spiritual obstacle that comes up. Its light will become an impenetrable stronghold by means of deliberate strengthening. We have to increase our knowledge of how these dynamic forces operate in our life by progressing in knowledge of the processes controlling spiritual conflict. These spiritual processes are flexible and mold the demands of every selected, leading their own development like a river adjusting to the ground. Imagine, for instance, that these systems function by what we may term spiritual echo. Every action, thought, and desire creates a resonance that eventually finds its place of origin. A subtle yet strong force, this spiritual echo alerts us for the required changes on our path. Ready to boost your vision, we have to take 3 deep phases into account through which these echoes show up. The first step is internal reflection, in which the challenge asks us to reconsider our decisions, behaviors, and ideas in front of the bigger goal we bear. It is an invitation to hear the gentle voice of the soul, which constantly leads and questions us, am I truly aligned with my highest purpose? Thereby silencing the uncertainty of the outside world. We next enter the stage of consciousness growth. Our viewpoint of reality changes as we embrace and combine these inner teachings. With this new perspective, we see not only what is right in front of us, but also the minute interactions joining to the cosmos. Here, let us recall the chapter that imparts wisdom as snakes and harmless as doves, thereby arming us to recognize and respond with compassion and intelligence. At last, we get at the condition of global alignment. When we are aligned with our life goal, the fluidity with which energies, people, and events converge to assist our endeavors defines this phase. Indicators that we move in accordance with the best intentions are synchronic events and profound, calm sensations. Now ask yourself, what ideas, deeds, or thoughts linger in your life as a faint echo, screaming transformation? See that these systems are rather genuine forces, penetrating their days to the most everyday minutiae, not just abstractions. Knowing this cosmic dance comes with obligations as much as privileges. For those who neglect this, the narrative of Lot and his wife runs the risk of gazing back and languishing in saline sculptures of what may have been. Thus, investigate these levels of reality unseen with the confidence of someone knowing that it is meant for further discoveries. And be ready, as in the following few seconds, we will expose and combine techniques that not only maximize these mechanisms, but also improve their capacity to pass through them with elegance and efficiency. Tomorrow belongs to those who bravely pursue the unknown with a clear vision and heart. Operating within the processes supporting the development of the selected one, spiritual change happens both in the unseen and visible. Designed to mold, strengthen, and cleanse the one who answers the call of light, these procedures are like heavenly gears. Then the issue of why these systems exist and what their purposes are becomes interesting. Guiding the soul throughout the obstacles and revelations required for its illumination, they are the loving hand of the Creator. There are many phases to our road of change, each one exposing its own wonder and struggle. In the first phase, known as the awakening, there is an inner opening, wherein the veil of ignorance is momentarily lifted. The intellect starts to doubt established paradigms, while the soul searches for more profound solutions. Like the storm before peace, it marks the start of an awakening of awareness, often accompanied with turbulence. Purification, the second step, is the calling to face our inner darkness. At this point, emotional patterns and old scars come back seeking atonement and healing. As David confronted Goliath, so too are we asked to summon faith and bravery to conquer the inner behemoth living in our brains. Physical sensations like exhaustion or abrupt changes in the body help us to realize the need of maintaining the sanctuary of the soul. The final phase, the inner alchemy, turns these difficulties into knowledge and spiritual stronghold. The selected one undergoes a strong transformation that energizes and increases its vibration to an alignment with the divine, just as gold must pass fire to eradicate its impurities. This is the lapidation of the soul in which the clarity and core of the higher goal is attained. Actually, these systems are experienced via synchronicities, meaningful interactions, and smart intuitions that lead us over the lit road of destiny. When we realize that these difficulties, internal opposition and doubt, are required tests for the strengthening of the spirit, then they become superable. Like the endeavor to cross the Red Sea, moments may occur when the answer is only revealed when we move in trust, therefore enabling the road to open miraculously before us. Those who ignore this understanding and stagnate in difficulties, however, miss the lesson of fresh wine and old odors and stay caught in cycles of suffering and delusion. This stupidity keeps the evolutionary potential from reaching its fullest, therefore putting the selected at the mercy of the unpredictable monetary winds. The time is thus now selected. Every day offers an opportunity to accept these processes with an open heart and a determined spirit, as this is the passage of time when the unseen currents of the change blow stronger. Their partners on journey through these stages and awaken into a renewed and enlightened world are action, knowledge, and intention. We will soon untangle the habits that will help you on your ongoing spiritual elevation. Investigating the depth of spiritual mechanisms helps us to understand how these unseen processes support and control the road each person takes to guide him through channels of self-knowledge and elevation. Designed to confront, cleanse, and strengthen the essence of any entity that proposes to travel the road of light, these processes are a natural element of the divine realm. Divine synchronicity is the first really important process. This method functions as an unseen network linking individuals, events, and situations at precise periods to inspire each selected to undergo spiritual development. Imagine life as a large chessboard on which moves are directed by heavenly interventions guiding destiny rather than merely by personal decisions. Actually, the coincidences we sometimes experience are resonances of fit for our spiritual path. The process of spiritual development forms the second mechanism. After eliminating the doubts and fears, this procedure serves as an alchemical furnace that cleans our soul and highlights the actual essence. Trials are provided to us here, not as punishment, but rather as chances to discover ourselves within. Its arduous events are divine fire sculpting its quiness, just as iron is pounded in the anvil, until it becomes a sharp sword. At last we have the energy resonance mechanism, which best illustrates the universe's inherent reciprocity. The energy we release from our ideas, emotions, and behavior comes back to us with same force. This mechanism shows that the quality of our energy output closely corresponds with what we get back from the surroundings, therefore it invites us to spiritual accountability. As it is stated, our life is the echo of our continuous sowing. We harvest what we sow. These transforming times provide obstacles that will test your resolve, because questions that surface out of nowhere or feelings that mirror past trends. However, knowing their evolutionary purposes and having a strong relationship with the divine helps one to face them more easily. Ignoring these systems runs the risk of staying bound to samsara, the never-ending cycle of life and death wherein the same teachings are repeated until they are really comprehended. Imagine a thick jungle where the reluctant visitor wanders without guidance, contrasted with the one who has the map of his holy path, finds openings and clearing, guided by the light of wisdom. Look within urgently and ask yourself, what signals your road may not yet be sending? Listen to the call of your soul. Every moment you pay attention to these processes, the value of your path becomes more strongly evident. It is time to go farther, following the specific behaviors that will enable these systems to operate on you and through you, therefore creating a destination loaded with great knowledge and truth. The deliberate choice to investigate and implement these amazing methods controls its development. Let us keep on together toward the spiritual pinnacle you were destined to achieve. It is important to understand how the processes of integration and manifestation function on their evolutionary path if we are to keep exploiting the spiritual forces guiding the selected one. These procedures create the backbone of the metamorphosis that underlines our core of being and lets difficulties become opportunities for personal development and illumination. The transformation of experience comes next. This is the alchemy of personal occurrences, when the selected one deliberately decides to turn difficulty into educational chances. It is like the potter carefully sculpting the gross clay in a piece of art with his hands. This process calls both resilience to emerge rejuvenated and bravery to confront inner gloom. You exercise real spiritual mastery when you are disappointed or sad. Consider the hidden lesson and let your essence grow. Advancing, we discover the process of spiritual tuning. This is the continuous alignment of its inner self with cosmic energy. Consider it like an orchestra tuning its instruments before an outstanding performance. You have to seek harmony between mind, body, and spirit if you want to sing your own song in divine symphony. Many times, contemplative activities, prayer, and meditation that change your inner vibrations and let you resonate in sync with the divine fullness help you attain this tuning. At last, there is the process of conscious expression. This is the process of having your most pure and profound goals materialize in the physical world. His everyday activities, driven with clear aim, sow the seeds of their desired future, just as the farmer plants seeds with hope for the future harvest. Faith is rich soil. Its decisions are the rains that feed its development. When you direct your attention and purpose on your soul, reality always changes to fit the clarity of your vision. It is important to understand, nevertheless, the dangers of not spotting or using these systems. Ignorance of this understanding could lead to a condition of spiritual lethargy, in which case the great potential stays slumber. As in the parable of talents, neglecting to use their abilities leads to stagnation and loss of these priceless chances for development. Thus, question yourself every day. Am I opposing the change, or am I letting these events help me to form me for the best? Responding honestly to these questions brightens the lighthouse of self-awareness, leading you throughout the labyrinth of difficulties with love and wisdom. At this period of metamorphosis, be ready to get useful guidance on applying these ideas in daily life. Walking through the spiritual instruments that will allow these processes together will help us to harmonize their existence with the grand aim meant for Him. Join us. The future is full with opportunities and discoveries. Imagine two selected ones experiencing the same spiritual awakening, but they opt to pursue somewhat distinct paths. Recognizing his divine identity, the first selected resolves to welcome these facts as his compass on road. He marches boldly toward his holy goal, surrenders to internal processes, welcomes cleansing and transmutation as part of his development. His emotions become steady, and his life reflects the inner serenity that now exists in his heart as this selected experiences line up with divine harmony. The connections that foster transform, real and loving interactions that feed their spiritual development. Conversely, we have the selected who rejects the quiet call of his soul and opposes disclosure. This selected stays still in the comfort zone, ignores the signals, avoids chances for personal development. Emotions grow stormy, hovering between uncertainty and annoyance as resistance builds an energy barrier stopping heavenly flow. Relationships so become contradictory or shallow, and the impression of spiritual stagnation permeates oneself as an unseen weight, thereby deviating from their intended use. Consider the narrative of Jonas, who, in defying the divine summons, found himself in the womb of a big fish, in a metaphor of inertia and forced internalization until he embraced his task. His decisions affected not just his personal life, but also the path his mission meant to take. Paul's life, on the other hand, has seen his opposition turned into enthusiasm and an east of spiritual truth by embracing his epiphany on the road to Damascus. Examining these two routes, ask yourself, which of these paths do I find today? Remember that rejecting or embracing these facts has repercussions, while accepting creates. Doors for many chances for development and spiritual satisfaction. Rejecting is to prolong cycles of unresolved issues and lost opportunities. I so really ask you, what effect does your present decision have on the life you want to create? Your ability to embrace and include this reality into all facets of your life will determine the force of your metamorphosis. At the conclusion of this road, it will be abundantly evident that the decision you choose now will resonate for all eternity. Your choice will decide not just your current experience, but also the spiritual elevation you aim for. Let us get ready to discover how to implement this decision using specific behaviors we will acquire in the next phases of our common path. Imagine two souls meant to find the truth of their existence, but each one reacting differently to the spiritual summons, thereby illustrating two separate pathways. In the first scenario, Anna, a selected person, decides to embrace her with an open heart upon being affected by this insight. She has a great resonance from the start, welcomes the challenge of working on her shadows, embraces spiritual activities, and lines her behavior with the divine intent. Anna has more and more calm and clarity in her life as she grows. His connections blossom, their interactions becoming more real and meaningful, and people close to him start to see a fresh light coming from it. Though Anna views them as a natural part of their development and uses every obstacle as a teaching tool, the challenges seem tough. Miguel, on the other hand, chooses to overlook the hidden truth in the spiritual message, even if he understands it. He stays linked to conventional norms and rejects the inner urge. With time, this resistance starts to show itself as dissatisfaction and inertia. Possibilities appear to elude their grasp, and contentment in their relationships steadily declines. Feeling detached and unhappy, he discovers something is lacking, yet he finds it difficult to see that his pain stems from his reluctance to welcome the change. One biblical narrative that best illustrates this paradox is the one of the affluent young man who asked Jesus about the path to eternity. Jesus urged him to follow him and sell everything he had. Hearing this, the young man is depressed and leaves, hooked by attachment to worldly wealth, unable to undertake the leap of faith required for his spiritual development. Matthew 19:16-22. This story highlights the choice to stay caught in the bonds of ego and fear, or follow the divine direction. Now, considering your own life, ask yourself, which of these ways do I find myself today? The decision to accept this fact is a very personal one, but its results are unavoidable. One path leads to spiritual blooming and release. The other traps the soul in cycles of disappointment and inertia. Meditate on this and vow to choose the path that really connects with your soul. We end this block with a significant message. What you will do with this truth defines not only the present moment, but all your future journey. This act is not only a digital commitment, but also an energy declaration before the cosmos, a proclamation of its determination to transcend and enlighten herself. If this message motivated you to identify and embrace your path, announce your commitment to the comments. I accept my call. We are only starting to discover the beauties of the road we have chosen. It is long, and we will go onward. You have thus far decided to be exposed to a truth that is not just intellectual, but also an orientation, asking to be experienced at the core of your being. The real worth of this insight shows itself when you act and put your knowledge into use. Spiritual enlightenment becomes tangible only via movement. So, individuals who stay inactive will keep in the same restricting cycles as yesterday. Now let us focus on 3 spiritual techniques that will enable you to go beyond your present situation and bring your energies into line with the divine. Heart-cleansing meditation comes first. Look for a peaceful area where you may comfortably seat. Close your eyes and picture a chain of pure light descending from the cosmos, entering at the top of your head, and gently and lovingly filling your heart. Staying in this connection for 20 minutes will help you to repeat the intention. I am one with light, and all impurities are dissipated. Let the light illumine and align each cell of your body. The second exercise consists of the circle of thanks to daybreak. Watch the dawn and see the opportunities of a fresh day. Holding a newspaper, list 3 blessings, big or little, that you have had in life. Expressing thanks helps you to modify your inner vibrations and draw more of what you're thanking for. Create this daily habit and see how your world and perspective will change. The third practice is calling Miguel's shield for everyday defense and strengthening. Rising, outstretched arms call Archangel Miguel to wash you into your shielding blue light. Visualize yourself encircled by this indestructible barrier, firmly declaring, "Nothing that is not of light can come in here." Repeat this vision whenever you feel the need to strengthen your spiritual security. Now I provide a 24-hour spiritual challenge. Practice intuitive listening all through your day. Silence for a minute and ask yourself within what choice you might make today to best bring your life into line for your spiritual goal. Jot down your observations and consider how you should behave properly. Intuition is unquestionably the language of spirits awakened and shows their capacity of discernment. Know that the soul will encounter opposition rather than ease because the mind grips to what it understands. This opposition is just a sign that you are headed in the correct direction, one which transcends past limitations to attain a greater degree of progress. Now the choice is yours. You will answer this call. How? Your spiritual path will be defined by your actions with this reality going forward. One does not have time to lose. Selected, your trip starts right now. Will you welcome the challenge of changing your life? We now know and can combine the core of what was exposed today. Its path is clearly marked by spiritual struggle, so its development depends on realizing and acting upon this fact. The chosen road is one of constant flow. This insight is just one more stone in the mosaic of their spiritual life. You are meant to negotiate the large divine tapestry with wisdom and power. Spiritual life is a continuous dance between unknown and knowing. Ask yourself, now that you know the truth, what will you do to her? Because it is just this decision, to embrace and experience your spiritual reality, which will shape your trajectory moving forward. You have the liberty to design your heavenly destiny. Should this message find resonance with you, write, "I answer my call," in the remarks. This is a message to the universe that you are dedicated to the way God has seen you, not just a show-off. This statement will turn into a stamp of spiritual dedication, therefore enhancing its link with the Almighty. May God guide your path, help you to develop your spirit, and let you see the realities concealed. Following the road meant for you should help you to discover clarity, strength, and direction. Thanks. Remember that the road is just initially long. More truth will come to light with every stride we do together. Prepare for a revelation in the following video that will transform everything and guide your spiritual knowledge to hitherto unexplored horizons. Never forget, selected, you are not alone. For its evolution, this society is a living temple. If you are not already enrolled, register right now and turn on the bell, as upcoming material will be crucial for your ongoing spiritual development. Know that your spiritual wings are getting ready for greater flights until our next gathering. Remind yourself, you are light and meant to shine. Be strong and alert. See you very shortly.